Hello students, myself Jafar Pasha and I am the assistant school teacher of National English Medium High School Chitradurga. So today onwards we are going to conduct the online classes of science. Without wasting much time, let's start our today's topic. So we are studying about that one acids, bases and salts in the science of first part. So first we have to know about that what is acid, base and salts. So let us know about first the acids. What do you mean by acids? Acids are the chemical substances which contains H plus ions and sodium base. It can turn the blue litmus paper into red in color. Once again, I will repeat that one. The acids are the chemical substances which contains H plus ions and sodium base, and it can turn the blue litmus paper into red. Come to that one next, the properties of acids. The properties of acids are known based on these properties. First, the ions. The acids contains H plus ions. Acids contains H plus ion. Acids contains H plus ions. So the chemical substances which contains the H plus ions, more and more H plus ions, they are considered as acids. Then taste. What type of tastes are there in the acids? The acids are taste sour in taste. Once again, the acids contains H plus ions and they taste sour in taste. Then what type of nature they have? They are having that one sticky in nature. When we are touched, the acids are sticky in nature, but don't try to touch that one. Generally, they are characters having that one, they are sticky in nature. Then, what type of smell they have contained? They are having that smell which burns the nose frequently. They are having the smell which burns the nose frequently, means a some type of irritation will get you in your nose when you smell the acids. Then what type of change of litmus paper? We are having different litmus paper to check that one acidic level. So when we are dipped into the acids, the blue color litmus is changed into red in color. So these are the properties of acids. Once again I will repeat you. The acids contains H plus ions, they are sour in taste, they are sticky in nature, they are having the smell which burns the nose frequently, and when we are having the litmus paper, the blue litmus can change into red in color. Then come to that one examples. So some of the examples we have to know that one. As we know that one, there are so many types of acids are there. For example, hydrochloric acid, which can write as an HCl. So then next sulfuric acid, we can write as an H2SO4, and the third, the nitric acid, which can write HNO3, the chemical formulas of these acids. And like that one more type of acids are there, which is called as acetic acid. The chemical formula is CH3COO. So these are the some of the examples of acid: hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and acetic acid. Then come to that one, the sources. So where we can get that one? Sources. Some of the natural sources are there from which we can get that acids. For example, tamarind, lemon, orange, tomato, ant sting, and beetle sting. So these are the some of the natural sources from which we can get the acids. Understood? Then come to that one, the uses. Where we are using these acids? The acids are using more and more uses are there. First of all, the acids are using in the manufacturing of paints, in the manufacturing of chemical fertilizers. As you know that in chemical fertilizers, what we are using in the agricultural form. So this type of chemical fertilizers is also manufactured with the help of acids. As like that one, we can use the acids to store into the batteries, which can use for the generating of electricity, as well as like that one in the manufacturing of detergents also we are using the acids. So these are all information about the acids. The acids, their properties, their examples, their sources, and their uses. Okay, after that acids, let's begin to know about the bases. As usual, so bases are the chemical substances which contains the OH minus ions and they are bitter in taste. It can turn the it can turn the red litmus into blue in color. Once again, I will repeat that one. The bases are the chemical substances which contains OH minus ions. They are bitter in taste and they can turn the red litmus into blue in color. Then come to the after the definition of the bases. Let's know about the properties. As we know in the acids, like that one we are knowing the basis properties also based on these points. First of all, ions. What type of ions? As I told you in the definition, the basis contains OH minus ions. It doesn't mean that when the bases do not contain the H plus ions. They are contains the H plus ions. Some of that bases contains the H plus ions. But generally they are less in number while compared to OH minus ions. Then compared to the taste, what type of taste are there in bases? The bases are bitter in taste. Once again I will repeat that one. The bases are bitter in taste. And come to that one, the nature of the bases. When we test that one, the bases, they are slippery in nature. When we test that one, they are slips. So that's why they are slippery in nature. Understood? So then what type of smell? But unfortunately, as the acids are having that one smell, the bases do not contain any smell. So that's why they are not having any smell, no smell. Then come to that one, change of litmus paper. As I told you, the bases can turn the red litmus into blue in color. So they can turn red into blue in color. Understood? So these are the properties of bases. They are contains OH minus ions. They are bitter in taste. They are slippery in nature. They don't have any smell, and the bases can turn the red litmus into blue in color. Then after that properties, come to the some of the examples. As we know that one, the OH, the molecules, the compounds which contains the OH minus ions, they are all considered in bases. For example, sodium hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide having the chemical formula of NaOH. So this is one of the best bases. Understood? So other examples are there. Calcium hydroxide, which we are writing that one CaOH twice. Like that one, magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice. Like that one, another example we can take potassium hydroxide, which can be written as a KOH. So these are the some of the examples of bases: sodium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. See, these are the some of the examples. Then come after that examples, sources. Where we can get that one? Sources. For example, what we are using that one, soap. The soaps, we can write that one, sources are uses. The bases are used in the manufacturing of soap. What we are using, the daily life soaps, these soaps contains bases. Understood? Not only that one, including that one soaps, including the soap, these bases are also used in the preparation of bleaching powder. Understood? So the bases are used in the manufacturing of soap and the manufacturing of bleaching powder. So these are the information about the bases. Understood, everyone? After the knowing of bases properties, let's we have that one, some of the differences between acids and bases. Based on their properties, let me know what are the differences between acids and base. As I told you, so let's see if we are taking that one, this is a base. So we will take is an acid. So I written that one the properties. First we talked about that one, ions. The bases contains OH minus ions and the acid contains, yes, of course, H plus ions. Understood? And the second, the taste. While the bases are the bitter in taste, the acids are, yes, of course, sour in taste. Sour in taste. Then what about the nature? As the bases are slippery in nature, I told you the acids are sticky in nature. They are sticky in nature. While we are having that one smell, so the bases are doesn't have any smell, but the acids are having the burn. Frequently. The burning nose frequently. When we are having that one change of litmus, the bases can turn the red litmus into blue in color, while the acids turns the blue litmus to red in color. So these are the general properties of acids and bases. Hope you understood. Understood everyone? Let's know, after the differences between acids and bases, let's know how do acids and bases react with metals. As is shown in the figure, set the apparatus as shown in the figure. Take about 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid in the test tube. Add a few pieces of zinc granules to it. The reaction between zinc granules and dilute sulfuric acid takes place, which results in the evaporation of hydrogen gas. When this gas passes through soap solution, it forms bubbles. When these bubbles burns with a lighted candle, these bubbles burns with a pop sound. Understood? Let's see that one practical way. As you know, in that one apparatus, zinc granules is added with that dilute sulfuric acid. Instead of dilute sulfuric acid, we are using here concentrated sulfuric acid to see that immediate results. So this sulfuric acid we are taking in a test tube and adding zinc granules. This is a zinc granules what we are adding. So instead of zinc granules, we are using that one, the zinc metal pieces. So these zinc metal pieces we are adding to the sulfuric acid. See the immediate results we can see the efflorescence. What we are seeing that one, the bubbles which are releasing from that metals. So it is coming to the surface of that test tube. So these bubbles are nothing but a release of hydrogen gas. Hope you understood. Okay, after knowing that one, how do the acids and bases react with the metals, so we will know about that one, salt. What do you mean by salt? The salts are the neutral substances which are formed after the reaction between acid and bases. This reaction is also known as neutralization reaction. In this type of neutralization reaction, the end products or the byproducts are salt and water. So that's why this salt is nothing but it is a neutral substances which is formed after the reaction of acid and bases, and they do not affect the litmus. So it means it doesn't change the any color from red to blue or blue to red. It doesn't change any color of the litmus paper. So that's why it is a salt which is called as neutral substance. It is a neutral substance which is formed after the reaction of acid and bases. So take an example, some of that examples. As we know that the end compounds which are ends from carbonate and which is ends from sulfate and which is ends from chloride and which is ends from nitrate. So these are all some of that examples of salts. Take an example of compound which is in a particular salt. So metal salts. For example, calcium carbonate, which is writing as CaCO3, is an example of salt. Like that one, sulfate. So we can write that one, ferrous sulfate, which is also called as iron sulfate. And another example of chloride, the common which we are using, it's sodium chloride, NaCl, and the nitrate, as we know that one, sodium nitrate. So these are the some examples of salts. Hope you understood. Okay. Okay, dear students, at last we will study about the indicators. What do you mean by indicators? Indicators are the substances which are used to detect the acidic or basic nature of a substance based on their pH level. Once again I will repeat. The indicators of the substances which are used to detect the acidic or basic nature of a substance based on their pH level. So that's why you got to know that what is pH level. So what is the, how can we identify the acid, how can we identify the base? The pH scale. The pH scale contains the numbers which starts from 1 to 14. On the scale of pH, so we are going to check that one which is acid, which is base. If the substances what we are using to check the nature, so if the comes below the 7, if the pH level is below 7, they are considered as an acid. And if they are coming above 7 up to 14, they are considered as a base. So what about that 7? The 7, if the substances are having the pH of 7, they are neutral. Understood? So if the pH level of a substances comes below the 7, so they are considered as an acid. If they are coming above the 7 up to the 14, they are considered as a base. So if they are considered the pH level of 7, so they are considered as a neutral. Okay. So these indicators are of two types. Some of the indicators are naturally available and some of the indicators with man-made, which is preparing to the laboratory. For example, natural indicators, I think you heard the names lichens, the plant from which we can prepare the litmus solution, which is a purple in color. And second indicator what we are using domestically in our homes is called as turmeric. So the turmeric is also one of the natural indicator. As well as this one, the red cabbage leaves. The red cabbage leaves is also a type of natural indicators which can detect the acidic and basic nature of a substance. Apart from this, so we can use the petals of hydrangea, petunia, etc. So these are all the examples of natural indicators. So some of the man-made indicators which is prepared in the laboratory, examples are phenolphthalein, methyl orange, litmus paper, etc. So these are the artificial or the man-made indicators which are prepared in laboratory. I hope you understood today's class, which is all about that one, acid, bases and salts. So next class we will continue into the next chapter, which is taking as a life process. In the next class we will study about that one life process, how the life processes are going on into a living body. Thank you. Stay safe and stay home. And once again.